Aloha and welcome back. I'm Panther and this is Final Fantasy Renaissance version 2.0.4 and we're going into normal Renaissance mode. Oh right, they're not called black belts, they're called monks. So we've got Ulu. Nope. There you go. This is probably gonna get really fucking annoying. Yulu. Oilu. And Lulu. Nope. There we go. Okay, this is gonna get pretty funny. So everybody's got combo and chakra, but cannot get the chi blast. They won't get their limits. And all they'll have is these two. So, for right now, let's just start off with... Oh yeah, that's right. 11 hours, holy crap. Like, 5 hours faster to do it that way. It's probably because I had to buy stuff and what I was aiming for. Alright, one thing I had forgotten. Completion. Got Classic out of the way, got Way of the Duelist, got Way of the Healer, and Way of the Sorcerer. Challenge. I still don't have more than 8% of that. So, any mode with a black mage in your party without learning more than one spell per spell level. White mage, red mage, green mage, and time mage. So basically any pure caster will gain that thing. I don't think that's going to be really doable all at once. So we're going to try... Okay. So it's not a lot at this low level, but that will change rather quickly. So basically, right now, having everybody devoted to kind of healing and one person doing the combo stuff is gonna be the way to go for a little bit. Which is fine. It's okay. Like, this is going to quickly turn into a very different game once they start gaining some levels and everything like that. Boost. 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 I think I'll definitely try to go to level 3 with these guys. There. 2 healing, 2 comboing. Once their chakra healing will improve, that's when things will definitely start shifting over to not all of them being aimed at healing. There'll definitely be like 1 or 2 guys aimed at healing. But at the same time, look at this. Like, this is slow. But I'm doing it level 1 with no equipment, no potions bought. And doing it combo is kinda nice to not have to worry about the bleed over, because it will just bleed over. That, and by constantly going to the skills menu, I subvert any of that rapid press stuff. Okay, that was one fight. Just focus on the first turn being boost. Because right now they're level 1, so they only have an absorb of 2. Probably should have changed around the party layout, come to think of it. I mean, there's no reason right now to worry too much about that. Let's be about just taking one guy out. You know what? It was fun doing that at least once, but let's actually give them some fucking gear. Right, their absorb is equal to their levels, so... For the first 4 levels, wood is going to be fine. Okay, so things should go faster now. Yep. Okay. I just had to test it out. Its damage is ×2 of level, and armor is equal to level. So chakra, chakra, combo, combo. Okay. That's right, that bug's still there. That's going to be really interesting. Let's just have everyone boost. Oh, I hope it's noticeable, but I lowered my boost in audio by 4 decibels. Let's get that combo. So yeah, it should come out sounding better. I don't know. Two boosting and then 2 attacking should help. There. This is gonna be wild. How close? 8. Cool. Boost, boost, boost attack. Forget how much the boost heal, or the chakra heals by. I think it's equal to the hit points to a percentile of it. Removes poison and darkness, which, you know, it's gonna be helpful in some places, that's for sure. Is by a small factor of character's max HP and vitality divided by the number of active allies. Oh, okay, that's right. That's why when Ulu was by himself, he could just full heal. And thanks to Ulu, original one, we don't have to worry about the in thing or the item thing. So just flat 30, 27, flat 30. Ooh, you're probably gonna be my See, here's one of the really interesting things. So, vitality of 21, 21, 21, 21. 5, 6, 5, 6. 6, 5, 6. 5, 6, 5, 6. 5, 6, 5, 6. Cool. There. AKA, the person with the most hit points is the first guy. Let's just have everybody boost, and then everybody heal. So we get maxed hit points off of one turn. I sort of wish it was kind of the 5e calculation for armor. What I mean by that is, in Advanced D&D, your armor was kind of a cumulative thing. So every little bit counted towards like the big goal that you were aiming for. However, it was still THAC0. So it was still to hit a armor class of 0. I think. Yeah. Now, in 5th edition, it was like, no, you have an armor calculation. If you are wearing armor, you are... So let's say you are one of the turtle races. One of the turtle races are... they have a armor calculation just by themselves. Now, let's say that that particular turtle race also is a monk. Or hell, let's go barbarian, just to change things up. Okay, so you're barbarian, turtle race, and you're going with armor. So, you don't get your armor from the armor class. You don't get your armor class from your leather armor, your barbarian's armor class calculation, and the turtle's armor class calculation. Does it sound complicated? It is and isn't at the same time. So here's how it works. You pick one. That's probably the biggest thing that I gave 5th edition, and trust me, I did not like 5th edition for the longest time. I still kind of don't, because some of the elements of it really do bother me. That said, when it comes right down to it, man, the ability to choose which one you want to use is actually pretty cool. I actually tried to make a outright class for 5th edition. It kind of fell into that category, though, of like, why isn't this just a subclass? I made enough differences that it wasn't, but a lot of people really started falling into that category of just like, but it doesn't feel like it's a class by itself. And it's like, I get that. I do, but at the same time, understand that it is actually its own class. I think I called it the Chromovoker. It was wild. It was based off of sort of a different type of druid, whereas the current druid is, oh yeah, you're a part of nature and you use all these magic spells and stuff like that. And it's like, that's cool. But what if we did it different? So yeah, the Chromovoker was focused around a more martial version without utilizing any wild shape or spells. In a lot of ways, it felt closer to a monk who had magic like flowing through them. It also incorporated some of the aspects from like a warlock, aka the invocations, which is their little customization things. Loved that. The subclasses for the Chromovoker were called habitats, where they would focus on like what type of terrain you were more focused around. And I had made plains, sea, air, swamp. I don't think I made desert. That was about the time where my like creative flow was being interrupted. I had a friend who helped me playtest it, and turned out it was actually really powerful, but not in a like overpowered way. Apparently the person who was playing the Chromovoker selected a couple of things that I thought they would. So one particular way to go about using the Chromovoker was you would so they had a pool of energy. They didn't have spell slots or key. They had a sort of pseudo way to do that. And at the end of the time frame, one of the things that you as a Chromovoker would end up doing is figuring out what your purpose is in the party and go from there. So let's say your purpose in the party was you were the tank. One of the first things that you needed to know about the Chromovoker is that they are very heavily focused on the concept of they don't they're not fast. They're very heavily focused on the concept of staying there and dishing out and taking damage. Now, a lot of you might be like, oh yeah, well that's every single martial class in the game. And I'm like, I get that, but I'm more talking about with the monk specifically, they are more focused around the concept of not doing that. They're very focused on the concept of making sure to deal as much damage and get the fuck out of there, which is fine. So a monk uses their dexterity and their wisdom modifier to calculate their armor class. I think it's also their proficiency bonus +8. It's fine math. It's simple math. It's just where you get the pieces of information change. For the Chromovoker, they don't use dexterity at all. Dexterity has no meaning to them. The stat they use is wisdom and constitution. They are a hearty class. To avoid a mad build, which is a multiple attribute dependent class, aka monk originally. In order to avoid that, the Chromovoker uses wisdom for their attacks. So it's basically like, hey, if you want high defense, focus on both wisdom and constitution. You want your attacks to do more, then focus on that. But realize your strength is suffering and your dexterity is suffering. You're also not very charismatic, and not very smart. Which I thought was kind of cool. Especially considering one possible avenue you could go down. Because most of the abilities for the Chrome Evoker, you had to willingly select. They weren't just given to you. I wanted it a highly customizable class, and that's what I aimed to do with it. But what ended up coming out of that was kind of funny, and that was Monk and Rogue get this ability called Evasion. Now, alright, just a second. I'll be right back. Go get a soda. Didn't fuck up my foot this time. Okay, but yeah. Talking this much without soda, that'd be bad. Alright. So, Evasion in 3.5 had two forms. Evasion and Improved Evasion. What this boiled down to was effectively this. Evasion level 1 would go, hey, someone used Fireball or Breath Attack or something like that, and you are rolling Dexterity to have the damage. It is now no longer a roll to see if you have the damage, it's roll to see if you avoid it altogether. Which at surface level sounds really awesome, because it is. Like, rogues and monks are the individuals who have really good dexterity, or generally are supposed to. And then Improved Evasion does that, but then goes, yeah, it doesn't matter if you succeeded or not, though. Because even if you fail, you only take half damage. And it's like, oh, that's crazy good. Well, in an effort to simplify things, Wizards of the Coast shrunk that down in a very offsetting way. Basically speaking, what happened is 37, holy shit. So basically now when you get Evasion, you get Improved Evasion. That's it. That's what happens. You get Improved Evasion. Which is awesome. But you also get it so early that it's just like, oh, well, holy shit. A lot of these monsters and spellcasters are pretty trivial now. Well, as you might imagine, that becomes kind of an issue for the Chrome Evoker, who does not have good dexterity, just by the way you want to put in your statistics. But I also didn't want to leave them high and dry, so I gave them an option. An option that, if selected, whenever you are to roll a dexterity saving throw for something, you instead roll a constitution saving throw. And it acts like evasion. So you effectively just ignore the damage. There's more to it than that. There really is. But I made it as visually applicable as you could ever want, because the concept is where other people have past lives. Your past lives were directly animals, and you could call them forth to aid you. Another concept behind it was flash summoning, where you weren't actually summoning creatures for long periods of time. You were summoning them for a singular attack. But because of that, you could do it like if it was a cantrip. So yeah, that was the concept behind it. A couple of things that made the Chromovoker very scary. Like I had mentioned prior, the individual who chose a build that was really powerful is so Chromovoker has pretty good hit points. They have the monk level. No, actually I think I made them have a fighter level hit points, so a die 10. Because I wanted them hardier. Now, so a die 10 hit points. Constitution is one of the main statistics, so you're naturally going to have high hit points there too. And wisdom is your strongest thing. So they're observant, they're very hardy, and while they hit hard, they're not physically very strong. Which also means that athletics and acrobatics, they're not very good at. I thought that was amusing, the way that turned out. But it was still fun. Well, this particular person started seeing the path called Pour on the Pressure. Which basically went, okay, you spend X number of points, and you attack. And every attack can be... Ooh, okay. So 6 hit points. 6 hit points. 6 hit points. 6 hit points. Okay. So yeah, that's kind of how that goes. It really does turn into it. Like every time you attack, you could choose to expend the points before dealing damage. AKA, I'm going to launch this attack. I am choosing to throw these points into this attack to increase the damage of the attack. Now, initially, it would your attacks deal your wisdom modifier in damage, plus your attack, which was about the same. I think it was a little less than the monk. So you could never get as strong as a monk in initial damage for punching someone. But because you were using stuff that was the way it was, also, it didn't count as magical until later in. That was balancing reasons. That said, man, it was really fun to hear that what the person effectively did was they used the pour it on stuff. This one fight, they basically equaled the damage output per turn by the end of it. Equal to that of a rogue. And if you don't know, a rogue with their sneak attack can do a lot of fucking damage. So I thought that was really cool. I thought that was really interesting. That said, there were a couple of hiccups, and that was the fact that in order to get to that point, let me finish stating what Pour on the Pressure does. Every time you successfully land a hit, while using Pour on the Pressure. It increases how much additional damage it will do. It already sounds pretty nasty. It's intended to be that way because it runs into a particular thing that is born of the Berserker, aka the Barbarian, and that is, yeah, you have to do this every round. You have to have at least one of your attacks not miss and hit every round. You had to pour on the pressure. As a result, this made the attack very, very dependent on your accuracy. But if you had accuracy on your side, like you had advantage on a lot of your attacks or something like that, man, did this just give you tons of potential power. And holy crap, not kidding, it did that in spades. But you had to expend points every single attack. And guess what? This dude could attack as many times as a monk, because they effectively had a flurry of blows that they did not have to use points to access. And by that, I mean martial. They never had flurry of blows. They never had the ability to multi-attack, except for a specific thing later in. And it was much later than monks. AKA, they're not fast, but they can hit multiple times. So that was my concept behind the whole character, and it was really cool to know that my friend had a playtest of it, and it worked really well, actually. There was a few hang-ups, like I said. One is a personal hang-up. Just the people who were playing were just like, oh yeah, no, that's definitely his work. I was just like, what the fuck is that supposed to mean? But aside from that, man, it was really fun. I don't know if I have that recording still or not, because the friend made a recording, but it was a full campaign, so you know that how that goes. It was like 2 hours or something like that, and I was also working. That's how I was getting all that information. So yeah, it was a pretty awesome event, to be sure. And yeah, I don't know where that ramble came from or was going. Yeah, just getting through this, because, man, this is fun. Weapon, wooden, 12. They don't have good to hit, but... So, let's... because we can do this. Damage of 6... it adds 10, effectively. But the hit is the same. Oh, the crit is slightly higher. So that's interesting. Do I want to bother with the... one check? Yeah, let's go ahead and... check that out. Mad Ponies hit too hard for me to just let them be. You guys are fine, though. So if we take out 2 of these guys, we can have everybody just focus on healing until everybody's at that full. So yeah, it's not like I haven't thought about making classes or anything like that. I had ended up repurposing that class into something I'm going to do for a show that I eventually am going to make. Hopefully before I die. But yeah, it's just conceptualization of any character, class, or item does start with what is it you're aiming to do. That is where most everything is gonna start from. What is it this class, this character, this item is aiming to do? Because there's a lot that rides on the concept of if you're making this thing to piss people off, maybe don't do that. Because at the end of the day, if your aim is to deliberately piss people off, I don't know how you guys feel about Velma, but that's what Velma is. It's a thing deliberately made to piss people off. And in all honesty, I mean, it does its job. For better or worse. But it falls into the category that a lot of people dislike it for, and that is because all it was aimed to do was piss people off, there was no substance to it. So the characters fell flat. They didn't have any direction. They were just a medium for the writers and or actors to yell at people through. That's it. That's all they were there for. That becomes a problem really fast. Not sure if you guys are aware of it or not, but that's a problem. A very bad one. But yeah, so I never intend on my characters pissing people off, but we exist on the internet. To think that you're gonna make a character that appeals to everybody is just as dumb as thinking that you're gonna make a character that everybody hates. You can't do it. You can't do it because no one is equal in any real, like, okay, equal in the respect of what they like and dislike. Because for everybody who likes dogs, there are people who fucking hate them. And I'm not even, like, lightly joking about that. I legitimately know someone who loathes dogs, like actively hopes that they die. It is rather disgusting. But they exist. They exist, and that won't ever change, because that's just... people are different. People are different, and that sort of thing. And as far as I'm concerned, that particular individual, provided all they do is they keep it to themselves or talk to other people about it, I'm okay. Like, it's your way of looking at stuff, and that's fine. When you start actively doing stuff in that regard, oh no, now we have a problem, and I guarantee you will be having issues with it. But that goes for anybody. Like, let's be honest, I don't care what your fetish or enjoyment or displeasure is, most people do not want to hear it. That's just the way it works. And that's the way it will always work. Because most people do not want to know what's going on in your head. Let's be perfectly honest, there are times I don't want to know what's going on in my own head. So I can't imagine other people wanting the same information that I am privy to every single fucking day. So yeah, no, that's just kind of my mental state of things. The standard ramble you guys have grown accustomed to, it's not going away anytime soon. Especially on something like this, where there's nothing really for me to react to, it's just enjoying the fact that I have a group of people, all of which can heal and hurt in equal measure. It's fucking awesome. And eventually they're going to get to a point where all I'll need is one person doing the healing, and everybody else can do the attacking. Right now it looks like it's going to be a while before I get to that point. That said, though, if I focus everybody on healing, they heal a good chunk of their hit points in, like, a turn. And it's area effect, which makes it even fucking better. Because if I remember correctly, when I started this adventure, the monk could only chakra one person at a time. Which, don't get me wrong, that wasn't bad, especially considering how much they could heal for. However, in a full party scenario, it became like, yeah, he could heal or he could attack. He could heal one person or he could attack multiple people because of combo being broken at that time. Like right now, I don't see my characters doing, yeah, we're not dealing with that. They just deal too much damage. Two of them's fine. I mean, I guess it would have been two of them in the other fight, too. Focus on taking out the wolves. And then next 2 turns, focus on healing. Let's go save. Binky! Becky. I don't know if this fight had ever been actually threatening. Yeah, 99. Okay. So 29 hit points. Need to get to level 5 before I care enough to unequip them. Yay, 10. I honestly would have found it funny if they made silver nunchaku. I mean, their hit points are going to be relatively the same all across the board. I think the only things that might change is the statistical increases. I'll have to take a look into that. So 7, 7, 6, 23, 7. 6, 8. Okay, so he is smarter and more agile, but physically weaker. He's okay. Yep, their statistics are going to be different. Not exactly across the board, but enough. There we are. Let's see. Level 8 is when these become worthless. That's not really all that useful for the party. Not like I'm going to be using the money for anything else. Two heal, two attack. Probably should have had 3 healing. Ooh, okay. That's one of the cooler things about this, is I can just swap that out. The fights take longer, but I can keep doing them. Okay. Let's go ahead and just... I will catch you all in the next episode. Until next time, have fun, be safe, and aloha.